What's up, everyone? And yeah, welcome back to Tales of Arise. Listen, I'm just filming like 5 minutes after I finished filming the last episode. Because, well, the last episode, I can't believe I'm saying this, was fucking hype. Okay? It was hype and then some. It was emotional. It was action-packed. It was beautiful. Safe to say, a return to form. Storytelling wise, I finally, after a few hours, I was a bit lost on the story. I didn't feel engrossed in it as much as I was before, but now, oh man, they're pulling all the stops here. So, yeah, I would say that the story is getting interesting, hype again, and I'm really interested in seeing how will it end. And after the last episode, I just couldn't help myself. I just said, okay, no potty breaks, no food breaks, just go straight into it, and yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. And well, we finished the last episode after talking to all of our companions, apart from Xian here. Now, we'll see what's up. Yeah, she pointed a gun at me.
Hey.
I still feel bad about that. Push her off the cliff, Alphen. that's for threatening me with that gun earlier. Take that, bitch.
I seem to cause nothing but worry.
She's not far off.
As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
Of course, because you're the best waifu.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Xian.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
That's a good plan as any, basically.
It's going to be a long...
Listen, Alphen, I don't know shit about what's gonna happen. I don't know anything. I'm clueless as fuck. But I'm gonna save the world, bitch. Oh, I will. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Yeah, that seems a good plan. Yeah, well, let's try it out. We could all die in the process, but yeah. It'll be fun though.
Hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace.
Man, I wish there was a sequel to this game.
But I swear I'll be there with you.
Apparently there's
till
not.
the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah. I think you may be right about that.
This game has to give us a romantic end to their relationship. I mean, it just has to. Like Katara and Aang at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, them kissing. Look, I'm a single guy. I've had girlfriends before, and I was heartbroken. Still am to this day. But it doesn't hurt to imagine things and to experience things even though they're not real and they're not happening to you. Yeah, it's still nice, I guess, to see it unfold. Even though you yourself are not doing so. That's what our game's for. That's why they're magical.
Everyone well rested?
Bored?
Let's go. We depart for LENEGIS.
Yes, we do. I'm gonna miss you, Dana. I've spent 62 hours on your surface. You've been cruel to me, and you've been kind to me. You've given me bad memories and good ones. My experiences were emotional, to say the least. Hopefully, I'll come back one day and experience those things again. But now, we board the fucking starship and we go save the fucking world from Shion's thorns and from the Red Woman and from LENEGIS and from every stupid bastards who tries to get in our way. We will be the unstoppable force of justice. So, that said, we are taking off, bitches. Come on. Oh, the Red Woman. Oh, the Red Woman. Okay, Star Wars time.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
I think you already did.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
Huh? Exactly.
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Found Knights it is. That's
I
cool.
like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced.
Oh,
but,
come on.
Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people.
I like
We
the
have
name.
2 goals. First, we need to get to LENEGIS and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Well, let's fucking go. Man, this is hype. It's like I'm watching an anime. Quality fucking anime. Off we go. Young Padawan. This is Star Wars, god damn it.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
It's called anime,
From
dear.
up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
They're still pretty
How much
big.
longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to
I would
familiarize
disagree.
ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Proceeds to crash the ship and lead us all to our impending doom.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
Sorry for interrupting.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life. For as long as I can remember.
How old are
They
you
called it
again?
Treatment. But in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
How dare they?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns.
Poked and prodded. Oh, that seems sus. These creeps will pay, Shion, don't you worry. Retribution is coming to them, swiftly.
Or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something.
This sounds so fucking
Some
sus.
existence, huh? A blight on any I touched.
Yeah.
Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend.
I don't have the thorns, and still loneliness is my best friend. That's sad, I know. But actually, it's pretty good. Loneliness can be your best friend, and it can be awesome. If you know how to use it correctly. It's all in the mindset, bro. It's all in the mindset. Many people cannot live without friends. Well, look at me. Look at me, I'm still alive. And I'm doing fine. So far, at least.
Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Alphen, can you try to comprehend the stupidness of that question? He said, let me summarize, guys. Why don't we all die just to save you? And you're gonna be the only one standing alive above us. Well, we will be 6 feet under. How does that seem to you, Shion? Huh? Oh my god, Alphen, I swear to god. Ray Chase, I love him. He's a great voice actor, but god damn it, Alphen is not the best written main character. Just saying.
Are you crazy?
Exactly.
Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes?
Because she's only one, and the whole world is the whole world. But anyway, whatever.
How is that even right?
It's not right.
It's
Which-
that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice.
That's better.
That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight.
Too late
I
now.
see it. The true nature of our struggle.
I'm a loser.
A victory without losers.
Shit.
That means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Hopefully.
Is something...
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left LENEGIS?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with LENEGIS. A traumatic one, no less. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people.
Well, it is a place where I committed mass genocide and, you know, did war crimes. But yeah, I mean, we can all shrug off the past. It doesn't matter now.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that.
True.
But the future's what we make it.
I agree. I agree.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Will do. Ooh. What do we have here? 2 lovebirds, huh?
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying.
Oh,
Big
wow.
Baby. And
Ha,
after
look
all
at your
that fuss he
baby.
made about naming the ship too.
Haha.
Hey, I never said I was scared.
No, look how goofy he is, the stupid baby. Oh, are you gonna cry?
I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Maybe.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Well, everything is wrong, Law. It's our job to make it right. Or at least die trying. Hey, Kisara.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod.
We should try
It
it.
fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there.
That's cool.
Alphen? Was it some...
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped LENEGIS, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean you were inside for 300 years?
I think we already discussed that.
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all
I was
that time.
bored.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
Yeah, this one.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, Can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now. And those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not.
You wanna pay me in some way?
You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Okay. Best waifu Shion, second best waifu Kisara, and unfortunately, last place goes to Rinwell. I like them all though, all great waifus. Oh, I mean female characters. Don't judge me. Okay,
Is
Dohalim.
everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
A lot of fighting.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it,
Some-
I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
Big dick
I'd like to
damage.
hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there. And they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, LENEGIS was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
Just like real
It
life.
can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
It's a double-edged sword, really. But anyway, I kind of agree with that.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst.
Just like real life, anyway.
As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman,
Some political messages. I see you. I see you.
are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I
Yeah.
would wager so. LENEGIS is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
Fall Knights, what's
We're about
up?
to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
If. Which I'm sure they are. Of course, it'll be useless even mentioning it if they're not. Because it would be anticlimactic. But let's pretend there's a possibility not to. Okay, so where the fuck are we?
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
LENEGIS's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
There are not any
We may not
contestants
have received a royal welcome
for the
but I
crown
doubt our
contest.
entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
I don't think. I don't think this will happen. We will fight somebody.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as LENEGIS would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Like the Forbidden Area.
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this
There's only one way to find out.
Just waltz
If there's
in.
even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Or we just fight.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. Capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows?
I'm just gonna skip that real quick.
For such a...
Oh,
Would you two...
So,
I couldn't tell.
There's Zugal's.
Okay. I just skip these. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. Okay. What is going on? This looks like a mess. A big one. LENEGIS. Or what's left of it, I guess.
what in the world?
this being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When LENEGIS changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But
Yeah.
they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I don't think they would care.
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Huh? Hi,
Obviously.
specky guy.
I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people?
So you
Yeah.
haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
We beat the shit out of, out of everybody.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I think she killed her
I've
brother
no doubt of that.
or something.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Doe.
So who's Faria?
Already.
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of LENEGIS are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's
Here
leave
we
the
go
talking to
again.
Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on LENEGIS has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our... Whatever did we do to deserve this?
A lot.
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it.
Seems
But
so.
do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First LENEGIS mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris House has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
That was pointless, but cool. To acknowledge how big of a deal Dohalim is. And we cannot go this way. Invisible walls and all. You know how it is.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great... I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed, I witnessed the deaths of so many...
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that
I believe that's you, miss.
description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that.
Apart from
I
you.
imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your...
That was useless. We didn't even have a cool conversation like the old guy. Anyway, hopefully you can help out, miss?
Is everything okay?
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was just about...
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are
Oh, why yes, my lord.
I see. She was useful.
Canvass the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here.
not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That LENEGIS is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over LENEGIS?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and LENEGIS.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling LENEGIS alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Does it exist?
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of LENEGIS has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on LENEGIS has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
Insane.
But what about trade and communication?
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on LENEGIS single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over LENEGIS from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and LENEGIS. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent.
We don't know if
As
it
for
does
how
exist.
Volron factors into all this. At this point, I no longer know what to believe.
We killed
3
Volron.
centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on LENEGIS. No, not just became, I was forced to. 300 years later, we crossed paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time?
No.
Could that be what's causing all this strange
We
activity
killed
here?
him. We sliced
Wait a
him in
second.
half.
You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you?
Yes, because he's
The
dead.
ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden.
Like you.
And unless there's another one out there aside from me.
Questions, questions, and yet more questions.
Yep.
Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. Let's go find it.
Easier said than done.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renin homeworld.
But Dohalim was
Only current acting lords have power. Renin society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see LENEGIS now. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renins in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives?
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on LENEGIS. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Why? I guess. Yeah, but it's a side quest, right? If it's a side quest, then fuck it.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of LENEGIS' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Oh fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest
I'm just gonna do it real quick.
worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
How dare they?
That doesn't make it true.
I'm just gonna speed run through that side quest. Yep. Yep, indeed.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much.
Okay. That was fun.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of LENEGIS then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall...
What?
Yeah,
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit.
Now I'm gonna heal you. Thank you.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
I didn't.
And yet,
I'm just
It is the
gonna
way...
skip.
I used to think
More to the...
What if she's not?
It's still...
For all we know.
Skip.
tell me, and what's, you know, when...
I'm a...
I do. Look in
I would never...
So there...
Now you've got...
If you've a...
what?
Hey, I can barely.
I wasn't.
Again, I just need to exhaust
What
these.
could- It's just
From how it...
But why?
Whatever.
He's right.
This forbid...
You heard him.
And I did. We move forward. Keep on keeping on, I guess.
So, what do you...
Well, but then...
Ordinarily, trust me, it makes you...
Sorry.
This place is...
Yeah.
Skip.
It seems like the people on LENEGIS don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when
You
the
can't
Lord of
move.
Arrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently.
Yeah. Despite the brute...
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
They were assholes, though.
Renans live in a world where their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them to...
That's what makes them the guardians of all of...
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after...
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything?
Yeah. I think it's maybe Balsif and the others. They all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they have...
Yeah, Ganabel's girlfriend broke up with him. Balsa fell into depression and debt. Volron, you know, was an alcoholic and a drug addict. They all had struggles, you know, and but they're still evil bastards.
loved ones in their life.
I know.
I don't care.
What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that.
Indeed.
But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters
They kind of were.
either. So I guess...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, even if they did terrible things?
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
Not a...
Being a... I think that's...
Shion and Do...
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I...
Okay, is that it? Well, we learned some good money from it at least, if nothing else.
What's this thing?
It's a grave jail. What now?
There's something I just don't...
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead. In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes...
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the
Okay.
former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem,
Yeah.
he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never...
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting LENEGIS from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very... In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like this. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Yes, I 1,000,000,000% agree with Law.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here?
Okay.
Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Damn.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Oh shit, that was a jump scare. Fuck. Only if we could have waited a little bit longer.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Sometimes that may be the case. Moving on, I guess. I'm digging the music. I like it. Oh, now that's a maze.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together.
They showed that, yeah.
Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed.
Fuck. Fuck.
Despite
Well,
Faria's
shit.
lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority, and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart, and even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnigan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord.
And
Tarnigan had fallen
yeah.
to Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field,
I whooped his
he wouldn't have
ass.
stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait. Don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always, but I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Huh, so he heard all of that.
Alphen,
What?
Yeah.
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
Oh, you don't need to. You kinda do, but anyway, that would be nice. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, that's all we have for today. It's been a pleasure playing this game. This was a very story-heavy episode indeed. But we will move on and see what's going to happen. So, that said, thank you for watching, and we don't have much till the end of the game, maybe 3 or 4 more hours, and that's much, I know, but who knows. I just give up on making predictions. This game will end when it fucking wants to. And it may not end, it may just go on forever, until we all fucking die. But I would say it's getting interesting, it's getting hype, and it's finally heading into the right direction at the end, which I'm happy. That's gonna wrap up, hopefully, in a quality and a satisfactory and a deserving way. So, thank you once again for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one, which will be very soon. Thanks for watching, and peace.